Are you a real estate agent who's looking to start or grow your real estate team or organization, but have absolutely no idea how you're going to start recruiting and attracting agents to join your team or organization? Well, in this video, we're going to be helping you break down the top 7 strategies to recruit and attract agents to your real estate team or organization, regardless if you are a brand new team leader who just started your team, or if you're somebody looking to grow and scale your real estate organization. At the end of this video, we're going to share with you one secret strategy that has worked really, really well for us, that has helped us consistently recruit and attract 2 to 5 real estate agents every month for the past 4 years. So make sure to stay tuned for the end of this video and we'll share that strategy with you. But I am ｃří, and I am the co-founder of Agent Wealth Hustle, and I have a real estate organization of 70 agents. And I am joined here by my partner, Charlie Cameron, who is the founder of Agent Wealth Hustle and has built his real estate agent organization to over 100 agents in the past 4 years. So we know a couple things about recruiting agents and attracting agents, and we're excited to share these strategies here with you if you're looking to grow your team as well. But Charlie, let's start with the first strategy that I think a lot of people are familiar with or want to dig into if they're starting their team or organization, and that is cold calling real estate agents. So what is your thoughts on cold calling real estate agents to grow your real estate team or organization?
First, I will say I do have both the 100+ agent organization and a local production team. So I've kind of see it from all perspectives. On the cold calling side, I still get cold called by brokers in my market looking for real estate agents, and it's never them, it's their assistant, right? But it works to some extent. Most people don't like cold calls, right? And even real estate agents who do cold calling hate cold calling. So it's definitely one of those kind of volume things. You got to get through a lot of it to find the right folks that are willing to listen. One of my top tips would be not to just, hey, come join my team, right? It would be more of a offer some value and assistance to their business first, open the door for a conversation, and then you can kind of work that conversation into something like, hey, have you thought about joining a team? I happen to run a team and you get XYZ benefits. It may improve your business based on what you've learned about their business. How can your team serve them?
Right, exactly. Cold calling is, a tried and true method, right? A lot of real estate agents who start their teams or organizations are former real estate agents themselves, or active real estate agents, and they have, I guess, a lot of experience cold calling clients. So they think that the exact strategy is going to be applied to cold calling agents as well. Now, obviously, you're going to have to go through a lot of agents that you're calling in order to make this strategy successful, but it is something that I guess anybody can start doing, especially if you have an experience or some knowledge and skills in cold calling. But let's move on to the second way of attracting and recruiting agents to your team or organization, and that is through your sphere of influence of agents, right? If you are a real estate agent who is in the point in your career where you're looking to start a team or organization, you probably know a few agents in your network. So that could be a really effective way to attract agents to your real estate organization or team as well.
Yeah, and a lot of agents don't realize this early on when they're starting their real estate careers, that saving every single real estate agent in your phone and actually turning them into not just a one transaction agent, kind of like same thing with clients. They shouldn't just be transactional. They should be lifetime friends, right? And so you can turn every agent that you work with, whether that deal closes or not, treat people well in transactions and turn them into friends and bounce ideas off each other. And that eventually could turn into, hey, I started a team. I've got a lot of leads. I need more agents to help me out closing transactions. This is the perfect time because you've already built those relationships to now reach back out to those people and say, hey, would you be interested in joining a team? Some may say yes. Some will say no. That's just part of the business, right? Some solo agents just love it that way and don't want to be on a team. And some may see the value of it. If they're only having to split commissions for team provided leads, but not for their own, it's almost like, why say no? So there's a hot tip for you, but definitely, keep people in your sphere of influence. Not just, hey, you talk to them, they go into your phone, you text them every now and then, but also bring them into your social media network, right? What platform do you use most? Bring them into there as well. And that way, some of these other strategies that we're going to talk about, they'll be able to leverage as well. You'll be able to leverage as well to kind of bring them into your real estate team by talking about it.
Right. Real estate agents who are actively in the marketplace closing deals have an inherent advantage when it comes to attracting or recruiting other real estate agents to join a team they just started or the real estate agent organization as well, simply because they are in proximity with more agents than the usual, right? Whenever you are closing deals, you are either doing what? You're either handing in offers to agents, right? If you're on the buyer side, or you're receiving offers from agents if you are on the listing side. So these are all agents that you can keep in your network. Make sure, again, to treat these people well as you're dealing with them in your transactions. Don't be somebody who is difficult to work with. Make sure that you give them a good experience so that way they know that if they come over and partner and work with you on your team or organization, that they're going to have a good experience working with you directly on a more or less day-to-day, week-to-week basis. So sphere of influence attraction, very effective as well. Now, the third way to attract or recruit agents to your real estate team or organization is, you probably guessed it, social media, right? It's a very popular strategy for agents to generate leads. It's a very popular strategy for many businesses out there to attract leads and clients, and in this case, for agent team leaders to attract other agents to join their teams or organizations. So Charlie, I know you do quite a bit on social media, and you have many different, I guess, irons in the fire when it comes to social media and online marketing. So what are your thoughts on social media marketing for bringing agents to your team or organization?
Yeah, social media is trickier than most people think because they're like, yeah, I know I should do social media, but what do I do? And there's a bajillion different options, right? There's a bajillion platforms, there's a bunch of things you could do. And so it's really easy to get overwhelmed. So I'm just going to try and simplify it right here. So the first thing is whatever platform of choice, that's the one you should leverage first, right? If you're a Facebook user like me, just make that your primary platform for this and friend as many of your fellow agents as you can, right? If you're trying to go local and build a local production team, that means every time you have a transactional or interaction with an agent, or you go to an event and you meet an agent, which, you know, if you're trying to build it, you should do, right? Then make them a friend on that social media platform so they can see what you're doing, you can see what they're doing, and it allows you to make connections and then turn that into friendships that can turn into partnerships, right? So first, friend as many as you can, and then, this is a crazy one, just talk about what you're doing and your team or brokerage or organization's success, right? Just talk about all the amazing things that's happening and what you're doing. People are watching, right? Even if they don't like or they don't comment, I guarantee they're watching. I particularly like to do Facebook stories. You know, I'm not a big make a reel and post it places kind of guy, but some people love to do that. If that's your thing, just do that. I see people doing it all the time, whether it's in stories or on your page. You know, do what comes naturally to you and just talk about what you're doing, because people will start reaching out to you. I you know, probably once a month I'll have somebody just reach out and say, hey, you know, I see you're an active real estate agent. You're with, you know, eXp Realty, tell me more about that. And it's kind of a cool, refreshing experience. Like, oh, I didn't know you were even interested in real estate. And then a third thing to do is to kind of, if you really want to get more into leveraging social media for attracting agents to your organization or your team, then you want to do one of two things. You can leverage social media basically in these two ways. The first is to either create searchable content, stuff that may not get a ton of followers, but gets a lot of views for the right search terms because people are looking for XYZ. Right? Like top real estate team in X market, or benefits to XYZ team or XYZ organization. So ways that people can find you through search, basically YouTube, for doing video content, or leverage a platform that allows you to create a big following related to real estate. And then you can talk about the team or organization there. And so the big following platforms would be like Reels and TikToks and Facebook posts, right? So you're just bringing people into your sphere, building a big following. And then as you create content, people will see it versus high searchability. So there's just really those two ways on social media to kind of leverage and get more eyeballs.
Right. And you mentioned Facebook stories are something that worked really well for you. And I realized that is something that works really well, especially if your team or organization is doing a lot internally, right? Providing a lot of value to your agents. If you are hosting events, hosting weekly Zoom meetings or mastermind calls with your agents, right? Make sure that you are taking pictures or videos of these and sharing it on your stories as they are happening. And that is something that we've seen work really, really well, because you are now giving other people a sneak peek into what it's actually like to work with you on your team and in your organization as well. So that is a very very effective strategy if you're trying to go out there and attract and recruit more agents to your team or group. Now, the next recruiting strategy is running Facebook ads or running any type of internet ads or going through a paid recruiting agency. I know a lot of team leaders, a lot of organization leaders, and even broker owners out there who just start their own brokerage. They don't have a lot of time on their hands, right? They have to make sure they get the business set up. They have to make sure they have, everything as far as their infrastructure set up. Some of them are still in personal production themselves. So they might want to consider going through paid ads or some type of recruiting agency in order to fully outsource the recruiting side of their business. So Charlie, I would love to get your take on that. What are your thoughts on going through a third-party agency or running ads for recruiting purposes?
Yeah, we lump these together because it's basically outsourcing, right? And the key to this is still in the follow-up, because you can spend money on any type of lead generation, but you still have to have follow-up on the tail end. And it's not just the recruiting agencies. Eventually, that lead has to get passed off to you. With ads, it's particularly bad, right? You have to really, really have some sort of marketing campaign or have someone following up with any active leads that become active. And then for recruiting agencies, they'll usually be an intermediary, but then you still have to have them land somewhere, which needs to be you usually. So the key to the success here, and just like cold calling, they're probably doing cold calling or they're running ads. So they're going to go through a lot of leads to get a few appointments. Definitely need to make yourself available to those appointments and take those calls. It's basically it's like cold calling, but without you having to do that initial work. You kind of receive the leads that are a little bit warmer than that.
Yeah, and one thing that I've seen a lot of as I were, just looking at my social media posts, other groups that I'm a part of other real estate agents, I see a lot of agents mention that, they don't necessarily want to be cold called, or they don't necessarily want to be reached out to by a third-party company that is helping a brokerage or a team recruit agents, right? They have mentioned that they, as an agent, they feel very impersonal. They feel like that the broker themselves or the team leader themselves don't want to take the time or the effort to get to know the agents before bringing them over. And for a real estate agent who, obviously they want to partner with somebody who they think that, will actually benefit them and put effort and value into their business to support them, a lot of times that can feel quite a bit impersonal. And these are some opinions that I've seen on different forums and groups that I'm a part of as well. So that is definitely something to keep in mind. If you are to go that route, make sure that there is a way for you to either, make it more personal on your side, either through scripting or the actual ads that you're running, and just kind of keep that in mind as well. And that's actually a pretty good transition into the next strategy, which is going through these Facebook groups and forums that a lot of real estate agents are gathering around. So Facebook groups, forums out there on the internet, these are essentially real estate agent watering holes, if you want to think about it. Agents are in there all day, every day, and it's their water cooler, right? Now with the digital age, a lot of people don't have physical water coolers to go down to kind of network and have conversations that are a little bit more casual within the industry. A lot of agents tend to be in these groups. And I know, Charlie, you've had some success, and as have I, bring agents into our organizations through Facebook groups and these forums online as well.
Yeah, and we actually met through a forum, right?
We did.
It goes to show that and you can essentially, and you're going to hear me say this a lot, the best thing you can do in these groups is offer value to people you haven't met yet and then establish a relationship. This is really just a way to bring people in. It's a social media avenue to bring people into your sphere of influence so that you can then go on to, hey, maybe this is right for you. Now, if you have a production team or you have some added benefits or some free resources you can provide, that's a way to really speed things up, because you can post those in these groups or in these forums, offer that value right up front, and really make a lot of connections very quickly, which is something that we're leveraging a lot of right now, right? And I think people look at this the wrong way. They go in there and go, join this, that, the other, right? Or this brokerage versus this brokerage, and you see all these crazy posts with people just outrageous things going on in there. But if you just come to people with providing value first, it really flips everything around, and people are naturally attracted to you. Hey, I created a video on how to use local services ads to attract new clients. Who would like to, and then you can share that video, right? And then you establish a relationship. They may love it, and then you can go from there, right?
Right, exactly. And another cool tip is, if you have your own group or your own following or your own community that you can offer value to agents, that has been a very, I would say, a new strategy that's up and coming that can be very, very effective to provide value to agents in a consistent basis, right? Because imagine, you giving agent a free training or a free course. They may or may not watch it. They may or may not go through it. But if you have agents inside of a group, some type of free mastermind that you're providing value on a consistent weekly or every other week basis, then these agents are going to get to know you a lot better. They're going to interact with you. And for them, it's actually going to feel like a test run of what it's like to be a part of your team as well, which again is a very effective strategy. So the next strategy that we want to talk about is just networking at events or through other professional networks online like LinkedIn or Alignable, which is a business networking platform. So Charlie, I know you are very active on Alignable, and that is something that you've personally began using as well to make a lot of business connections with other real estate agents. And I know you are part of a group as well down in your local market where you guys do a lot of local events as well. So how can one leverage these networking events to start getting more agents in their pipeline and attracting them to their team or organization?
Yeah, at the local level, you got to go to the MLS related events, go to the investor meetups, go to any of the local agent events. Your brokerage may be hosting, local events as well. Man, those MLS tours and MLS events, that's really a good way to meet agents that are not on your team yet that could be. And we'd like to go to the MLS tours. So you put, a bunch of houses on a tour and a whole bunch of agents show up. You usually have breakfast together and then you go tour their open houses and give feedback and talk to other agents and meet other agents, which is really a cool way to kind of network together and learn each other's way they do things and stuff and give feedback on listings. So that's a good way from a local perspective to meet other agents. You can also meet other agents through lender events, through title events, through, appraiser events. Those kind of things are happening all the time as well. And that's pretty cool. And then of course online, probably the two biggest networks for professional networking are going to be LinkedIn and Alignable is pretty new. So there's a lot of growth there happening, which is kind of cool. So you can make connections there and message folks as well. If I was going to use one new platform, that's probably the one I would look at, just looking at the growth currently versus, and Alignables is more of a platform for businesses and entrepreneurs versus LinkedIn, which, there's a lot of employees there too, right? People who work for W-2s. Really, Alignable is not as much like that. It's more of just all the business owners in one spot. Local businesses too. So now you can network with other local businesses and who do they know and things like that. But yeah, you can definitely connect with a lot of agents on there as well.
Right. And another good strategy for networking and just meeting agents is if you have either, the capacity or if this is part of your strategy is to bring on newer agents, is to sponsor real estate schools, right? There are a lot of local real estate schools that will allow somebody to come in and sponsor lunches to give a presentation on joining their team or their brokerage at their organization. That is an effective strategy as well. Or you can also sponsor CE classes, right? If you're looking to go after some more experienced agents to join your team or organization, these people are in the industry. They're either there to renew their license as part of, continuing to be active in their real estate careers, or this is somebody who maybe have been active as an agent in the past and have taken some time off and just renewing their real estate license through these classes as well. So that is another good strategy and tip on leveraging certain networks to be able to attract or recruit agents to your team or organization. So the last one we're going to share with you before we dig into our secret strategy that has helped us personally attract 2 to 5 agents every month consistently for the past couple of years is sharing value and free resources through a call to action. This, in my opinion, is the best overall strategy because this concept and principle can be applied to any of the strategies that we just went over in our video today. Because if you are offering somebody something of value, then it actually draws them in. So it's the lead magnet principle, right? You give somebody something for free in exchange for you to be in their good graces or just to capture their information.
This is 100% the best way to establish and start a relationship. And we've mentioned it before, but let me list some different ways we can do this, right? So we have a blog, right? Agent Wealth Hustle, and we have lead magnets on there. And so what do you think happens when someone downloads that lead magnet? We offer more value, right? So they just came there looking for value. We gave them value for free. And then we offer more value on top of that through some email campaigns, and then we invite people through there or other places to basically a free mastermind where we teach people how to attract more clients. That's what every real estate agent wants, right? They want more business, and that's why they may want to join your team. And so if you just kind of give them a sampling of, hey, here's some free value to help grow your business, maybe they go implement that and go, wow, this really worked. What else you got, right? How did that work for you? Make sure you put them in some sort of follow-up, right? Know to follow up with that person, but man, you offer some value and then follow up with them on how that went, and then turn that into a conversation about how you can add more value or how their business is going, what's not going well, and how you might be able to help fix that.
Yeah, I love that you said that it's like a sampling of some of the things that you can do for the agents that you're working with, right? Because this is a tip for team leaders and organization leaders out there who want to attract more agents. If you have, in your opinion at least, have a good infrastructure as far as what you're already providing to your team, whether if it's hosting a local event, whether if you are running some type of weekly training call or mastermind call or some type of coaching session, or if you're providing your team specifically internally with any type of resource to generate more clients, to close deals better, to have more infrastructure in the agent's business. Something that you can do is you can actually use what I like to call the Costco strategy, which is basically taking that, right, a portion of that, a sample of that, and turning that into a lead magnet, right? Maybe you hosted a training event locally and you have a recording of that and it's 45 minutes. Just rebrand that recording as a free training and give it to other agents out there, and make sure that you mention that this is an actual recording of the things that you're doing internally with your team as well. And this is actually something that I've been working with some of the team leaders and organizations builders that I personally work with as well, for them to implement into their business.
Man, the Costco strat, that sounds like its own lead magnet. That's an awesome name for it. I love that, right? Just try the sample, and then you may buy the whole thing, right? Give a smattering of some of the value you might provide as a team or organization, and then they may want all of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's a sample. You give them something, a value that is part of the bigger package. And then if they want more of it, then they'll come and talk to you about it. So those are the 7 strategies that we wanted to talk about as far as recruiting and attracting agents to your organization. Well, we've stayed till the end of this video, so we're going to deliver on our promise here. And we're going to share with you the one secret strategy that has been really the strategy that has allowed us to generate 2 to 5 agents to join our organizations consistently for the past 4 years without us spending really any money on ads or putting in any type of consistent effort as far as cold calling daily or posting on social media daily or anything like that. And this strategy, believe it or not, is SEO, search engine optimization, through blogging on a WordPress website. And there are many, many benefits to this. And we're going to go through these strategies one by one. But really, this is a strategy that, Charlie, I think you came up with when we first started on this journey. So I'd love to kind of get your thoughts on this, on why the SEO strategy has been so effective for us and why it's going to continue being effective for us moving into the future as well.
Yeah. It's crazy how this worked out. I mean, SEO, search engine optimization, it's basically trying to rank high on search engines, mostly with Google in mind, because Google's the #1 search engine in the world, right? There's billions of searches every single day. So what if, when someone is searching for a particular topic, like best real estate team for XYZ, best real estate brokerage, best lead generation organizations, right, for real estate agents, whatever they may be searching for, if you can get in front of them and be on the first page of Google, that's free traffic. That's people who are already high intent looking for a solution that you then offer as a value add blog post, and then can take them through either giving them a lead magnet, which has a longer form of follow-up with providing more value to potentially enter into a conversation, or straight up just having a Calendly link and letting people schedule calls, which is what we've done, right? And interestingly, I think we had, 150 calls last year, just inbound. People scheduled Zoom calls with us to join our organization, and that's all just through SEO. And it's amazing to me because it's the most under-leveraged lead generation attraction strategy ever.
Yeah, exactly. It is something that, that's what we call it, a secret strategy, right? Not a lot of people know about it. And it's something that takes quite a bit of work to put together in the beginning. But I promise you, if this is something that you want to do, especially if you're looking to build an organization of agents, or even if you're a real estate agent out there looking to attract leads and clients, this is something that is going to pay off over time. Because one of the best, features of SEO, in my opinion, is that the content is more or less evergreen. So a good example of that is once you actually put a blog post out there that Google recognizes as a valuable piece of content for specific search terms or keywords, it tends to stay there. And actually works in your favor that you've put out that piece of content and it stayed online for a long period of time, because Google does recognize more or less speed to market, right? So if you have a piece of content that's already existing out there, as long as you keep it up to date, Google tends to like to keep that on the front page of their search engine results. So I think, one of our top performing posts, even today, Charlie, is something that we wrote 4 years ago, back in 2020. That is still bringing us in, from what I've seen, the most amount of agents through our call system.
Yeah, it's remarkable because nobody is really doing it, which is, unfortunate for them, fortunate for us. And like you said, the setup takes a little bit. I mean, we've helped agents in our organization set this up. It takes about an hour. And then, we've already built out all the trainings on exactly how to do this. It takes some practice to get good at writing an SEO, like a keyword focused blog post. The first time it'll take you much longer, but over time you'll get really, really good at it and you'll get much faster, right? And eventually you can outsource it. Right? And so you can really kind of scale pretty well once you know how to do it and how to run it. It's like anything else, right? You learn how to lead generate as an agent, and then you can start a team. You learn how to write a blog post, and then you can really scale from there. And another interesting thing about SEO is, compared to basically anything else you could do, it's extremely cheap, right? Like a domain name costs $10 a year. A hosting service costs a few bucks a month. It's ridiculously inexpensive to have a blog that can rank #1 on Google for a lot of blog posts. I think we're up to like 9,000 or so unique visits a month, right? And that costs us basically pennies. Right. It's just insane. Just insane to me.
Yeah. And one of my favorite things about SEO is, these people that are coming in, the agents that we're attracting through these calls, they're a lot easier to convert, right? Because they're looking for specific things through Google search that we are providing direct to market in a sense. So they're a lot easier to convert. There's not a lot of convincing involved in taking these calls. This is more of a discovery process for us and for the agents themselves to learn more about what we have to offer as an organization, for us to learn more about what the agents are looking for, and just to see if it's a good fit. And another cool thing about this is with search engine optimization, you can target specific agent avatars and profiles based on the specific keywords that you're trying to rank for, right? So like, for an example, we did, a really good job of, attracting part-time agents in the beginning when we had, one of our keyword posts out there is the best organization joined for part-time agents, right? So we targeted a specific subsector of agents because of a skill set that we have that we could provide value to those types of agents. So it is something that, in our opinion, is the best recruiting strategy for teams out there because of these concepts.
And like the agents who schedule calls through our blog with us, if you'd like to start and grow a real estate agent organization to any level, we'd love to invite you to book a one-on-one Zoom call with us as well to learn how you can partner with us directly for free and leverage our resources, our systems, and our training on things like how to leverage blogging that have helped us grow our organizations to help grow yours as well. And we'll basically give you a tailored roadmap to build your agent organization by any of the methods we just talked about, including SEO, if that's really what strikes your fancy. So whether you're just starting out or you're looking to really scale your team, whether that's locally, nationally, internationally, this is your chance for us to work together to help you grow an agent team and your income to any level without it taking more time. So with that, we hope to see you on our future videos. Stay tuned for more, and we look forward to hearing from you.